In this video, we take my old work truck up to 400,000 miles, and we did it mostly on dirt.
And we cooked burritos along the way.
Yeah, we did. This is my work truck, a 2003 Dodge 3500 single rear wheel four-wheel drive. And it's about 100 miles shy of crossing the 400,000 mile mark. So our plan is to do a 100-mile road trip and hit as many dirt roads and trails as we can, all while reaching the 400,000 mile milestone, and tell a few stories about the truck along the way. Alright, so we're going to head down south towards DeSoto National Forest. It's kind of adjacent to Camp Shelby, which is a National Guard Army camp. So there's a lot of dirt roads and things. Let's stop off, get a little push water, and maybe get some snacks for later. Hit some dirt roads and reminisce on things that's happened with this truck in the past. So we've had this truck for how many years? Getting close to 10 years now. My dad bought it to use as his work truck, and then whenever I turned 16, it kind of became my work truck because I was doing pool service, things like that. So of course I drove it to school also down here in New Augusta, which is where we're headed right now. You know, I mean, we hunted out of this thing. We would, you know, go mud riding and everything when we were in high school. So we kind of abused the trucks.
It did gnarly burnouts.
Got the 5.9 Cummins common rail 48 RE automatic. That's got full Banks bolt-ons like intake horn, intercooler piping, exhaust, wastegate. Had a Banks tuner. It had like the touch screen on it, and the touch screen broke, so I just put a Smarty programmer on it, and it's been run like that for a long time. It does have a built transmission. Not too long ago built it. We were on about third or fourth rebuild on this transmission. That's been the most problematic thing on the truck, but this last time I built it myself, so I know it was done right. Top Gun bumpers were not very good. Front bumper design just stuck way out, and so I cut over 4 inches out of it. That's something I've been wanting to do since we bought the truck. And I got it as low profile as it can be right now without completely building a new bumper. Suspension stock. It's got right now Toyo RTs, 35 1250s, 410s front and rear. It's also got a stock limited slip in the rear. We bought this truck from the second owner, but the second owner only had it for maybe a few months. He bought it as a work truck from the family of the first owner, who he passed away, but I think he owned a construction business in Mobile. So he used it for construction and as a work truck too. So that's why I say it's been a work truck its whole life. The second owner, he had the truck repainted, he had the bumpers put on, and he had all the bank stuff put on. So he had all intentions of keeping it, but then he got a nice company truck, and so he just didn't have a use for it anymore. So after he bought it and had it fixed up, he pretty much sold it right away. So I think it had about 200,000, a little over 200,000 miles when we bought it.
Alright, so we don't know how long we'll be in the wilderness doing this 100-mile drive. We've decided to come prepared. We have a cooler that's iced down with drinks, really crappy burritos from the gas station. We don't have really a way to heat them up, so we figured take this tin foil here, we'll wrap them up good and tight, and we'll set them on the turbo, and hopefully by the time we get done with the 100-mile trek, or maybe in the middle of it, they'll be hot and steamy and nice and good tasting. It tastes like 5.9 Cummins. I think they'll fit perfectly.
Let's see. What you think?
Is they gonna fall out?
No, it's got a coolant line right up under it there.
Oh, this is gonna be mint.
That'll work. That's not going anywhere.
I think that's like made for burritos.
Yeah.
Who knew? The exhaust manifold on a 5.9 Cummins is made for burritos.
Mm-hmm. That'll work.
They were so thoughtful. Got a full tank.
Yep. Full tank and some snacks are cooking.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Couple more miles will be on dirt.
A few buns in the oven.
Alright, I got a story. The most recent story about this truck, and then there's one that's even more recent.
I know where you're going.
A couple weeks ago, I was hauling 2 loads of plywood down a little over an hour away to our treatment plant where we get our plywood treated. I'm cruising along, you know, 4-lane highway, doing reasonable speed, and a Mercedes is flying up behind me. I'm already passing the car, so I'm like, I'll get out of his way. Put my foot down a little bit. All of a sudden, my hood just starts fluttering, and then, wha-bam! It comes up, wraps itself around the cab, and luckily it didn't bust the windshield. And I'm already in a hurry because I'm trying to get there before closing time. And like the grill comes up with the hood on this truck, and it's like slicked back. It's just a mess. The thing hasn't had the safety latch in a long time, so just the normal hood latch has been holding it down. But I've never had a problem with it. I had to undo it with the impact and just throw the hood in the back of the truck, just truck on down to Loosedale to get the plywood there before they closed. I was leaving the next day to go to Starkville to meet up with Wesley because we were going to Birmingham to do, we're pulling some stuff out of a junkyard. I get to the house and I just beat the hood out just enough to where it'll close. I had to bolt the grill back on and rigged all that up, and now I've been keeping a zip tie around the grill to the bumper just to keep everything from flying up again. I beat it all out just with my foot and the dead blow hammer, and it looks fairly, I mean...
It looks like it's got some serious hail damage,
yeah.
But that's it. Like maybe...
It looked a lot better. There's like 3 marks on the hood where it wrapped around the cab lights, but other than that...
It looks like a rhinoceros has been standing on your truck.
We made it to the National Forest and started exploring some of the fields and trails, and then we came across what we thought was a small puddle of water.
You have a winch. I will say this, if you get stuck and we have to winch, you have to walk through the mud to go pull the winch out.
You can try.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get stuck in that. Just send it. Oh, Lord. No!
We're stuck.
We're very stuck. It won't go in reverse?
No, we're on the axles, dude. Dang it, Wesley.
It didn't look that deep. So when me and Nick first decided to set out and do this video, the whole basis of it is we have been working our tails off. We've been working on the Beamer. He has been killing it on the Conquest. The whole idea of this video was we need a video to put up, but we need to, you know, take a break because we work 7 days a week, pretty good hours every day. Sometimes we kind of chill on Sunday, but we work hard, and we wanted to do this video as a let's chill and not have to work. Well, with saying that, let's just look at what Nick is doing right now. He's pulling out the winch because I kind of shamed him into going through this mud hole. Yeah, we're about to have to work, so as it always ends up, we try to do something nice and calm and relaxing, and it ends up being hard work, but I guess that's just how it goes. That's how life is. We are most definitely stuck. But that winch is a pretty beastly winch. 16,500 pound winch. Yep. This mud hole looks very unassuming, but it is a beast. There it is. Cable went slack. Well, so much for not working.
This is your fault. Now I gotta turn around and go through it again.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm gonna stay out of the ruts. Hey, I don't know who made them ruts, but they got a bad truck.
Yeah, really. That doesn't look too bad. It really don't. Usually when you see a stick like that on the side of the mud hole though, that's a bad sign. But, I mean, wow, those are some good ruts, and we just made them worse. It's really not that deep of water, it's just like soupy.
The problem is the middle's hard and the ruts are deep.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we just bottomed out. If we get out of the ruts, it'll go through it. Maybe we can go back through it without using the winch. That'll be the goal. But if we do have to use the winch, we know who'll be setting it up. That's right there.
I think we got this.
Yeah, I think so. nothing to it when you're not in a rut. Nothing to it at all. Okay, so we just went through a mud hole, and now we are at whatever that is. 75 more miles.
75 miles. Wow. Good job, Mr. Engineer, math whiz.
All right, so I got a story. So you remember, this was back when I was working for Ferris Pools. We're coming back from a pool, and Nick's bed back then, he didn't have the fifth wheel bolted down.
The gooseneck. Yeah.
Gooseneck hitch bolted down. It was just a hole.
It was just a hole.
It was a big hole.
What happened was my dad had one of those toolboxes in here that had drawers that pulled out. So he took the gooseneck hitch out. We didn't have a gooseneck trailer. So well, he wanted that toolbox in his truck. So he took it out, and there was just a hole in the bed.
So we didn't care.
Yeah.
Nick had been doing a little work to it, just normal maintenance stuff. He'd replaced some wheel bearings, and on these, like most new four-wheel drives, the wheel bearing is an assembly. It's a hub assembly. Yeah. So we just had that hub assembly in the back of the truck, and it was bouncing around or whatever. Well, anyways, we're coming home from a pool. We're going down 42, and we hear blink, boom, and I look back, and there is a full hub assembly going
with
boom,
with the ABS sensor still hooked to it,
yeah.
Whipping around.
Dude, it was bouncing like car high too, and it was just going bling, bling. We speedily cut a Yui and went off in the ditch and picked it up, threw it back in the truck, and left the scene.
That same hole, we were going home. We were coming home at night one time. Ooh, that's a big rut.
That is a big one. All right, shaky video, commence.
Oh. That's a big hole. Put that in them four.
Yeah, let's go on down. And drop.
Golly. That thing's a 2-foot drop. Oh.
Oh.
So, anyway, we were coming home. I think we might have been working. We just worked late that night. We were coming home down the back road, and it's kind of curvy road, and we come around the curve, and there is this nice 8-point, 10-point in the middle of the road, good looking buck. I slam on the brakes. Well, in the back of the truck there was a hitch, and I slammed on the brakes, and it hit that hole, and it just boom. It wedged, and I thought we had lost something again, but I locked all four of them up. But that hitch just scared the crap out of us.
Dude, that thing hit hard. That was a big hitch.
Yeah, it was a pintle hitch.
Yeah. And
it wedged itself in there, and it was like touching the axle. And so luckily it didn't fall out. We almost hit the deer too. It was pretty bad.
But we were coming back from a pool in, I think it was in Laurel. We were on 59.
I don't know where this is going.
70 or 80, headed out. We got another pool to go to.
Allegedly 70 or 80.
Allegedly 70 or 80. We had a full cardboard box, like big cardboard box full of plumbing. We had a pool pole. What else we have in the back? We had a good bit of stuff in the back. I thought he had shut the tailgate. He thought I had shut the tailgate. But, as you can tell, no one shut the tailgate. When we got to the next pool, there was no pool pole, there was no roof, there was no plumbing. Like, I bet you there was 100 fittings in that box, and there was none of them. I really hope that there's not another story from someone else, a Camry behind us, that says a pool pole came through the window. Okay, so I just thought about maybe one of my all-time favorite stories with this truck. It was sketchy. It was really dangerous. It was almost bad. And I'm going to let Nick tell it, but I'm going to introduce it. We're headed up 29. And
story I was about to tell.
We're just, whatever, bebopping along, not really caring. And all of a sudden, this tractor trailer comes.
Fully loaded log truck.
I'm going to give it to you because I think you tell this one much better.
Fully loaded log truck coming southbound on 29. I just look up. I wasn't paying that much attention. I know I should have been because we were doing 60 or whatever down 2-lane highway. I see dust coming off the truck, and the trailer is off the road, and the truck's still driving on the road, but the trailer itself is off the road. Well, he hits a driveway, and there's a ditch and a culvert under the driveway. It's a pretty steep thing, and it bounced the trailer over into our lane, blew out the tire on the truck, and I didn't have you know, hardly any time to react. And by the time it bounced up on the road, we were even with the cab of the truck.
If you could imagine Fast and Furious 4.
Yeah, the beginning of
Fast and Furious 4. That's what I felt like I was living. We are not exaggerating this one bit.
No, not at all.
I mean, this dude was booking.
He had to have been doing 80.
He was 80 like, as much as that tractor trailer will go, I think he had it there.
And so he hits the culvert. Trailer swings into our lane. I just ditched the truck. Luckily, there was a turnoff. It was like a little offset in the road where there was a patch of gravel, and it was the guy's
mailboxes.
There was the guy's mailbox, and I threaded the needle between the logs coming off of the end of the truck, and I'm surprised that the logs didn't hit the mirror on this side. And I'm pretty sure my other mirror was over the top of the mailbox. It was that close.
Yeah, I remember thinking, like, I was doing this because I thought, sure, we was about to just clean those mailboxes out.
Oh yeah. And there was bark and dust and tire and everything just slapping the front of the truck. And we got through it, and it was just like...
we were both just like, oh my God. And if we don't die from that, we're going to die from a heart attack.
All right, here's another one. And you weren't in it. You had the chance to be, but I couldn't get you out of bed. So we were roommates in freshman year of college.
Oh, yes.
We had pretty much a blizzard. It was like 12 inches of snow up in North Mississippi. I went down to the refuge down south of Starkville and Noxubee Wildlife Refuge. You know, hung around there a lot. I cruised around this truck. Did some donuts in a church parking lot. Had a little round flower bed. I was doing four-wheel drive drift donuts around the flower bed, and then one of my back tires hit a pothole and it swung the front of the truck around. And it was on ice, so I just like lock up the brakes and I'm just sliding, and I come about 2 feet from just T-boning the church van.
Oh no.
That was a bad one. That wasn't very smart.
We did a lot of dumb stuff back then.
Oh man, that day, yeah, there was another one. I don't know if we should tell that one about you and the cougar.
Yeah, we can tell it.
Behind McKee. Doesn't pertain to this truck, but the same night. I had just got back in the dorm and I heard blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's the cougar. And I look out the window and it's just like snow rooster tails in the parking lot behind our dorm. And
third gear drifts in the snow with the cougar.
He's like drifting around light poles. I go down, and this is all allegedly, by the way.
Allegedly, all of this happened.
Allegedly. So I run down, and well, Wesley called me. He's like, dude, you need to come down here with the truck. I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. I just got done drifting the truck, and I was just walking down, and I made it to the door, and hear him and 2 or 3 other people come, run, get in the door, cops.
So we've been doing this for a while, allegedly. So I'm drifting or whatever, having a good time. We're getting some cool footage, and my buddy and his front-wheel drive Mazda Speed protege was out there doing reverse donuts and stuff. We're just all, messing around. It's a snow day and an empty parking lot. You can't ask for a better time. I can visibly see wear on my tires, even though it's snow. So I'm like, okay, I think it's probably time to call it. Thankfully, I just pulled out of the parking lot and I'm about to go park my car, and I see blue lights, and I'm like, whoop. I'm just gonna very quietly pull in this parking space, shut her off. Basically, after I got done drifting and in this moment where I've decided to park the car, a little Honda Civic comes out there, and it's got a fart can, and he is on the wood out there drifting, like front-wheel drive sliding or whatever front-wheel drives do.
Ripping the e-brake.
Yeah. So I pull in, and I just see the cop pull up and get him. One of my friends knew that guy, and he got reckless driving that night. I feel bad because he literally had just come out of the parking lot, done like one slide, and caught reckless driving, and it was
a bad influence. Anyway, the next day I wake up and there's even more snow on the ground. I tried to wake Wesley up and he wouldn't get up, so I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going without you. I'm going to explore. And it's probably a good 20, 30 miles from Starkville.
Yeah.
There's a place where you can get on the Natchez Trace.
Where it's headed towards Tupelo.
Yeah. So I got on it, head towards Tupelo, tree down. All the snow, all the way of the snow just pulls this tree down. Back up, go around the tree, get back on the Natchez Trace. And there's like, in some places, it was just a foot of snow. And I got this thing in 4-wheel drive, and I'm just trucking along and come across another tree. Crap. So I'm in 4-wheel drive. I just nudge up to the tree, just come right across it. So I go about another 10 miles, another tree in the road. So I hooked up to the front of it, drag it out of the way, and I just kept going. And I went, I mean, how far is it? 50 miles to Tupelo on the Natchez Trace?
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
even farther.
Probably about 50,
And,
yeah.
I mean, some places no one had been. I was by myself. I was just driving down the middle of the road because I couldn't see where the edge of the road is. Came up to some park rangers. They were like, man, they're cutting trees coming back this way. There's at least a half a dozen trees in the road. He's like, okay, how far are they? And he was like, man, at least 20 miles. I was like, okay. I just kept going. And it was just, you know, fresh snow. No one had been through there. And I had a Sawzall in the truck, so sometimes I had to Sawzall limbs off the tree to make it around through the ditch and pull them out of the way with the truck. But sometimes I'd just crawl over the trees, and yeah, went all the way 50 miles by myself. That was kind of dumb because
Yeah.
this truck at that point had over 300,000 miles, and I was, you know, in the snow. I didn't bring any food or drink, or I think I had like a bottle of water or something. So we found us a pretty good little trail down here. There's not a ton of good trails in DeSoto and Camp Shelby, but if you get off the beaten path, you can find some good stuff. They normally just kind of dead end to a little clearing. Not a whole lot of, you know, obstacles and things, just some washouts and logs, things like that. So it's really fun to just trail ride like this. We enjoy trail riding. This has been a while since we've done it. The last time we did this was, what, 2-3 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
We probably got some footage of that we can cut in here.
Yeah, that day that I rocked your truck back and forth. We are getting viciously attacked by some
Massive.
like massive horseflies. They keep coming through the window and attacking Nick. Wow, gosh, dang, they are massive. Wow. I'm pretty sure some of the dents on the front of his hood are from the horseflies hitting it.
So, me and my dad went up to Jackson to get some pool steps, I believe it was. It was some type of equipment we needed for the pool company. We were on our way back, and not too much before this, I had noticed some slack in one of my front U-joints on the axle shaft. My dad was driving, and all of a sudden I just started hearing tick, 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 tick. I knew exactly what it was. And we were doing like 70 down the highway. So we pull over at like a sawmill or something on the side of the road. And sure enough, that thing had kicked sideways, and they had lost one of the caps on the U-joint.
I know where this is going.
And then I didn't feel like jacking it up and taking the wheel and everything off. I may not even have the tools to do it. So, but what I did have was zip ties. We did get the axle like back in its socket to where we needed it to be. I put probably at least a dozen zip ties on that thing just to hold it together, because we were still about an hour from the house. I just started like suspending the zip ties like, and made the axle kind of float where it needed to be, just so that we could get back home without it just banging off the ball joints like it was doing. Because it was God, it was terrible. Hey, zip ties came in, saved the day.
No. Oh no. We need to zip tie our camera on.
Just thought of a good story. I can't believe we haven't thought about this night yet. So we were home from state, and I had just got new tires on my truck. Our buddy Aaron had just got good tires on his truck. And we were going to go up to our lease and just have a good time. It had been raining, it was slick. So we invited Taylor. He had a Ranger at this time, 4-wheel drive.
Danger Ranger.
The Danger, that thing was awesome.
That made me
FX4.
want a Ranger right there.
Aaron had new mud tires in his, what, 02 or so, F-150, 4.6. It was a FX4 too, I think, but it was a piece of junk.
It was an absolute piece of crap.
Open diff in the rear.
Yep.
He loves the truck, but sorry, Aaron, it was a piece. But
He knows it was a piece.
no, he loves that truck. Misses it every day. It would go pretty good through mud.
It
though.
really would.
And then the Ranger, the Danger Ranger, which had a limited slip, 4-wheel drive, and he just had some all-terrains, but they were pretty good size. And I was in this, I had just 33s back then, new Toyos, But of course, this thing's heavy, so
I was in Taylor's.
you were with Taylor. I had Fontaine with me, and then we had that German foreign exchange student chick.
Yep.
That was in the middle. That was a funny story that we can't tell. We might tell that later if we have a podcast, and we have to get Aaron on to tell that story. So, me, chick, Fontaine, and then you and
It's just me and
Taylor. So I think Aaron and Michael was in front of us. Aaron just keeps stopping every like 20 feet to try to sling mud on my truck, and I'm in this thing with a big Cummins. I gotta keep momentum going. It's just frustrating the heck out of me, and he's just stopped. It was sling mud. He had straight pipes. It sounded like junk, and just and just mud everywhere. The worst part about this night was I think I have permanently damaged this truck, and it still has effects today. There was a little bitty like water crossing, and this is going up a pretty good hill, and there's a terrace right at the top of the hill. So if you had a good bit of speed, you could jump the terrace. So,
which we did fairly often.
Yes, but not in this.
Not in this, no.
And other things, four-wheelers, things like that. I might be trying to impress the German foreign exchange student a little bit.
Really cute foreman girl that's sitting beside you.
Exactly. 4 high, brake, boosted up to about 15, 20 pounds. Just let her rip. Rooster tails, go through the thing, through the water crossing.
That was a decent mud hole, too.
Oh, yeah, it was a pretty bad little mud hole.
Bad mud hole.
Red clay, up the hill, and I'm probably doing at the top, I don't know, 30, 40, who knows. I was full throttle, second gear at the, hitting 4,000 RPM. I ramped this thing, and we go up and slam down hard, and there's little pine trees. They're not very big, but I didn't want to plow through the pine trees, so I just lock them up and turn the wheel, and I'm headed right for them. I throttled out of it, the front grip, and slung it around. But ever since then, I'm pretty sure I bent my front axle housing.
Yep.
I have to rotate tires often because they all feather on the inside if they get on this driver's side front tire. Not learning our lesson, Taylor does the same thing. And although he had all-terrains, they were pretty large.
Yeah, what were those? Those were like 33s probably.
No
on
lift.
The Ranger with no lift, no nothing.
No, just torsion bars jacked up a little bit. Yeah. And the tires grab the bumper. The tire's spinning this way, and it grabs the bumper, and it just boom rips the bumper down. We had to jack the thing up and bounce down on it to keep it from rubbing the tire.
I was laughing so hard.
Oh my gosh, that poor Ranger. Yeah, that was a good night.
It was. All right, 50 more to go, and we have done most of that 50 miles on dirt, like 98% of that 50 miles on dirt. Okay, so we've made it 50 miles. And now we're gonna check on our burritos because it's like 6 o'clock and we're kind of hungry. Oh yeah, they're still there. I bet they're nice and warm too. This is gonna be entertaining. Sounds tasty.
That would be mine.
It's pretty darn hot. Mine's probably cold in the middle. Oh no! It ripped in half.
Oh no.
Oh man.
It smells good.
Man, it's cooked. It's hot and smells good. And let's get the other part out because I wouldn't want to miss some of it. Almost fell down. That would have been good on video.
Oh. This did clear before the mishap. Yeah.
We have a little bit of dieseling going on with my thing, but
just pinch it off.
I really think it's okay. Let's see here. That thing is so hot. Oh my goodness. I thought it was gonna be cold. That tastes good. Alright, so we're gonna stop here for a little snack.
Well, mine's actually too hot to eat.
Yeah, this is really piping hot.
I've never done this before.
Also, they're heated all the way through. The bottom of this is hot, the top is hot.
It's a little crunchy where it was touching.
It's got some threads from the rag, but
mine's good. Mine didn't rip in half.
Yeah, somebody just barehanded mine and
Well, I was filming at the same time. It's kind of tough to do. So we've got like 50 miles to go, and we've already been at this for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So we might need to make some tracks if we're going to make it to 100 or 400,000 miles.
A little crunchy.
That's good. I like my burritos crunchy.
Mm-hmm. So hot.
So get some AC rocking and keep trucking.
Yep. So I think on the package it said, what was it, 2 to 3 minutes in the microwave or 40 to 50 miles off-road if you have a 5.9 Cummins. Really? Wow, that's a big one.
Gracious. Oh no.
I'm scared.
Being attacked.
I know at any moment I'm going to get smacked by this thing.
If anyone finds this video and we've been eaten by horseflies, get out of there.
Don't hit him my way.
Get him. Oh no. Once we had combated the horseflies, we hit some of the more well-traveled dirt roads so that we could make some time and get to 400,000 miles before sundown.
Well, there it is. We got 15 miles until we're at 400,000.
15?
No, not 15.
Bruh.
25.
How are you an engineer?
I don't know.
Alright, we got 10 more miles to go. We're running out of light, so we're trying to hurry a bit, hoping that we'll reach the other side of Camp Shelby on dirt as we're getting to 400,000.
We are clocking on towards 300.
Less than 2 miles.
Yeah, 39999.
Only problem is we're running dangerously low on dirt roads.
Yeah, we have to do this on dirt. It's got to happen. It's a dangerous game because we can't go back the way we just came because it's more than a mile before we hit dirt again.
There's not dirt.
There's no dirt that way? This is not good, Nick. We are on asphalt. This is sad. This is not good.
It's okay.
I guess it's okay, but hey, there's a road. You can pull off. It's dirt. Not really.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This ain't no road.
Go that way. Yep, go the other way.
We're on an old abandoned road now. So, not quite dirt, but
It's pretty.
it'll do.
It's pretty dirty. At least it's off the beaten path.
It's kind of apocalyptic.
Oh, rut. Watch it.
Boink, boink.
It's gotta change. It's about to change. Dude, it's so close.
Yes! 400,000.
I'm scared, Nick.
Whoa. Look at the ditch.
Oh, you can go through it.
I know, I wanted to stop and celebrate. Alright, so there it is, 400,000 miles, and it could not have happened at a better time, at a better place. This is just totally apocalyptic looking atmosphere here, and I think it matches the truck perfectly. So thank you all for watching. If you want to catch us on social media, we are at Racing Rejects on Facebook and Instagram, and if you want to email us, we are theracerejects@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the bell while you're at it, and thanks for watching. There's a turkey. Turkey, turkey, turkey.
What? I don't see it.
He's flying right there.
Oh, he's flying. There you go. Get out of there, turkey.